are on the floor this morning. So we're going to make sure our ankle and our heel are staying static, and we're going to move these guys back. So we are going to do just a nice slow movement through breath work and the supine poses today, which is so hopefully you'll enjoy it. It's nice and measured and slow, unlike the rest of this week's been quite mental for poses. So get some movement into the top of this foot, and then we're going to move on to the other side. Good. Fingers to our toes. Excellent. So we are, I guess it's more focused on where the breath is going today and where you can feel it. I think that's super, super important. And we sometimes, when we're focusing so much on a pose, we sometimes lose the breath. So coming back to the breath, and then we'll add it back into the poses next week when we challenge it more. Good. Once you've done that, we're going to try wiggling our little toes. So sitting up nice and straight, we're going to try and wiggle our little toes. So it's as if you're pulling your little toes away from the rest of your toes and back in. So you should feel this kind of a stretch across this area of our foot here, which is actually relating into this area of our foot here, which is actually coming up and relating to our knees, which then goes the whole way up the system. So you might feel it in your knees though, when you're wiggling your little toes. Good. So morning, Rebecca, as well. I'll mute everybody in a minute. It's quite nice to hear your houses and that. It's the best day of life. Good. Okay, good. And I'll mute everybody. I'm enjoying the life feeling. Then we're going to point and flex, and while we're pointing and flexing, I'll do a bit of meeting. So okay, so point and flex those feet, and that's just our final bit for here. Then we're going to come to lying down supine on the mat. And we're going to start in this position just with our knees bent and our feet flat on the floor. And in this first position, we're just going to have our hands by our sides, nice and long by our sides. I don't want you to put any tension anywhere. I just want you to feel the weight of your arms, the weight of your shoulders, the weight of your rib cage. And I'd like you to find your neutral pelvis. So you might rock backwards and forwards through your pubic bone to your belly button until you find that neutral part, the middle of your pelvis there. And then to weight it right, we might rock from side to side across our pelvis. So you find that right and left are nice and evenly weighted too. And then feeling your hands on the floor, the backs of your arms, your forearms, your big toe, your little toe, and your heel. The first 3 breaths with an apnea, we're going to, in the back of your head, let's not forget the back of your head, gazing straight up towards the ceiling, and relax your jaw. Just going to do 3 nice slow breaths here. As you're breathing, the focus is just on the rib cage. So I just want you to focus on your ribs. So as you inhale, really opening your rib cage towards the side and feeling the rib cage on the floor. And as you exhale, knitting that rib cage back together again, just with a natural exhale, again, keeping your rib cage on the floor. On your final one, when you come to your final one, when you get there, as you exhale your air, I want you to feel what's happening in the rest of your body momentarily. So feel that lift or that rising through your body. And then as you do your apnea breath, the opening of your ribcage and lifting of your ribcage is a continuation of that final exhale we did. So we're just accentuating that exhale that's happened at the end of the last breath. So take it nice and slowly. Good. Once you finish that apnea breath, we're going to take our hands into an upwards V on the floor, palms facing towards the ceiling, shoulders drawn in our backs, but still just an awareness of our body on the floor. So the backs of your arms, your shoulders, the backs of your rib cage, your feet. Feel your feet for a moment. Feel your pelvis. Make sure it's still nice and neutral. And now again, just to focus on that rib cage, 3 nice slow breaths, and then your apnea breath. Again, when you come to the point where you're doing your apnea breath, think about, just as you're doing that last exhale, visualize what's going on with your body, that last kind of everything drawing into the center and this lengthening. And then as you start the apnea breath, take it really slowly. So you're slowly opening your rib cage. So we're slowly making this rib opening more effective, or a more effective end to our exhale. So effectively, that's what our apnea breath is. We're just progressing our exhale. Good. Take it nice and slowly. 3 deep, slow breaths. So the slower you can breathe, the better. Inhaling through your nose, exhaling through your mouth. And then again, the slower you open your rib cage, the better for your body, because we're actually using slow twitch muscles that take longer to engage. And so it gives that time for your body to adjust. Good morning, Frana. Once you finish this one, so when you get there, take it super slowly. You're just coming back to your first position with your hands down by your side, palms face down the way. Good. Okay, so from this position this time, what we're going to do is we're going to focus a bit more on what happens with our pelvis and our coccyx when we inhale and exhale. So again, feel the back of your head, the backs of your arms, your shoulders, everything heavy on the floor, the big toe, little toe, and heel. Now, as we inhale this time, we're still thinking about our rib cage, but as we inhale, I'd like you to over-exaggerate this movement of the pelvis. So instead of just thinking about the coccyx kind of curling away a bit, I would like you to roll all the way down your coccyx as if you're trying to come to the bottom of your coccyx on the inhale. So your pubic bone will go down towards the floor and you'll raise your back off the floor, your lower back. And as you exhale, you're going to draw that coccyx. So think about your coccyx curling back up inside as you come back to your neutral position. Holding it neutral, not taking it any lower than neutral. So we're going to do 3 nice slow breaths here, focusing on that. So ready to inhale. As you inhale, you're going to roll down your coccyx nice and slowly. Really feel that kind of expansion through your spine. And as you exhale, you curl your coccyx back up underneath nice and slowly into your neutral position. 3 of them. So another 2, and then your apnea breath. So again, nice and slow. Really feeling the breath. And as you do your apnea breath, you've brought your pelvis back to neutral. You should have more awareness of that connection with the pelvis and the rib cage as you start to slowly peel your rib cage away from your pelvis. And then you can really start to identify with the fact that the pelvic floor and the pelvic area is part of this respiratory system. Good. Once you finish that one with your hands down, we're going to take our hands up. So palms face up, upwards V, drawing your shoulders down your back. Again, re-establish the fact that you can feel your arms heavy on the floor. You can feel the back of your rib cage heavy on the floor, back of your head. Your pelvis is nice and evenly weighted to start with. Now, as you inhale again, so ready to inhale. As you inhale, you're rolling down your coccyx, really allowing your spine to open. And as you exhale, curl that coccyx up underneath until you reach your neutral position. And you're going to do another 2 of these, really focusing on moving through your pelvis. Now, as you're doing this, you might become aware of the fact that you're putting more weight in your feet. I want you to avoid that. I want you to keep your feet evenly weighted and nice and light on the floor as you move through this breath, so that the movement is coming from the pelvis rather than from the feet. After your 3rd one, you're going to come back to your neutral position again, and then slowly open that rib cage, nice and slow, super slow. Feel it peeling away, and it's just an extension of that rib opening. Excellent. So then we're going to bring our hands back down again into that downwards V. And this time we're going to stretch our legs away. Now first, before you start, feel where your pelvis is and feel where your rib cage is and feel where the rest of your body and your back position. And as you stretch your legs away, I'd like you to be aware of keeping your pelvis and your rib position in exactly the same place. So if you find that you can't fully extend your legs and achieve that, make sure that your knees are slightly bent, so you can still maintain this really nice neutral body position. So find where it is for you. If your hip flexors are a bit tight today, you might find that you need to bend your knees a little. So from here, 3 nice slow breaths again. This time we're focusing on our pelvic movement. So rolling down to the bottom of your coccyx and then curling your coccyx back up underneath. Nice and slowly. 3 of these. Good. Inhale, rolling all the way to the end of that coccyx, and exhale, bringing yourself back to your neutral position. On your 3rd one, you're pausing. And this time, as you pull your rib cage away, I would like you to think about that stretch coming from your feet. So it's as if it started at your feet, it's moved up your legs, it's come to your pelvic floor, and now it's moving all the way up towards your feet and towards the crown of your head. It's the opposite way. Excellent. And then from here, we're going to take our hands up into our upwards V position again, nice and heavy on the floor. Now, as we inhale this time, we're going to add something to this. As we inhale and roll down our pelvis, we're going to point our toes. So we're going to open up as we roll down our coccyx. And as we exhale and draw back into our neutral pelvis, we're going to flex our feet. So I want you to feel this kind of movement through your body. So ready to inhale. As you inhale, rolling down through your coccyx, opening your pelvis up and pointing your feet. So we're lengthening through this anterior chain. And then as we exhale, we're curling our coccyx underneath and drawing our feet back into that dorsiflexion. And again, when you're ready, you're inhaling nice and slowly, opening up through those feet. And then as you exhale, drawing yourself back. On your third one, you're closing your mouth and nose, pausing, and slowly opening your rib cage. Feel that draw coming from the feet effectively this time. Good. And now from here, we're going to bring our feet back in. So we've got our knees bent. We're still going to keep our hands up in this upwards V, and we're going to have our nice neutral pelvic position. We're going to do our 3 nice slow breaths. This time, we're still going to rock through our pelvis and bring it back to neutral. And then on our apnea breath, though, keeping everything as it is, as you start to move your rib cage away from your pelvis, you're going to stretch your legs long. So they're going in the opposite direction from the direction of your pelvis. And this is a really nice stretch for your psoas muscle. So lengthening, ready to inhale. Inhaling, as you inhale, rolling down the length of your coccyx. Try to get right to the tip of your coccyx. And then exhale, bring it back to your neutral. Good. And then inhale again, all the way along to the end of your coccyx. And then exhale, bring it back to your neutral. Good. And last one, inhale all the way along to the end of your coccyx. And exhaling, drawing it back slowly to your neutral position. Close your mouth and nose, pause, and slowly start to open your rib cage. As you open your rib cage, so at the same time as it's moving up the way, you're going to lengthen your legs back down the way. So you can feel this length coming from your feet all the way up through to your ribs. Excellent. Then from here, you're going to shake your arms and shake your legs off for a moment. Pull your knees in towards your chest and feel like you're dropping your coccyx back towards the floor with your knees up here. Great. So now we're going to stretch our left leg out and put our right leg over the top. We're going to do a nice twist onto our side. So we're going to start with our right hand closest to our body and our left hand on top. We're going to draw these down towards our pelvis. So this time, we're not going to rock our pelvis in this position, but let's just do a straight one first, actually, before we twist. What I'd like you to be aware of how your coccyx feels in this position when we're breathing. So there'll still be movement, there's always movement in your coccyx, but just make it less obvious this time. So 3 nice slow breaths, ready to inhale. Inhaling, 1, 2, 3, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Close your mouth and nose and pause. As you start to slowly open your rib cage, use your hands to help guide that rib cage up and away from your pelvis. Pressing through your hands, shoulders still drawing down your back as your hands come up above your head. Slowly drawing your rib cage even higher as they come up. When you get to the top and you need to inhale, you're going to inhale here. And when you inhale, I'd like you just to feel that stretch from your heels all the way up to your hands. So really feel that lengthening on the inhale. Don't rush the inhale. And then as we exhale, cross your right, swap over to that side. So use the exhale for the change and use the inhale as an extra bit. So left leg's on top, left hand's closest to your body, right hand's on top. Feel that tension a little bit and then bring it down. But we're not over tensioning today. We're just moving easy. So 3 nice slow breaths again. Ready to inhale. Inhaling, 1, 2, 3. Feel your spine working. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. 1, 2, 3. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. 1, 2, 3. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Close your mouth and nose, pause, and open your ribs. As you start to open your ribs, use your hands. They're pulling away from your feet. They're slowly moving your rib cage even further up away from your pelvis than it was before. Shoulders draw down your back. Really feel that length. And when you need to inhale, you're going to hold this pose and do a nice deep, slow inhale and feel that stretch through your spine, through your anterior chain, through your thoracic diaphragm. And when you need to inhale, inhale here and exhale, bring your hands back down. And we're going to swap over. So this time we're going to roll. So I've got my right leg on top, so we're rolling to the left side. Once we get to the roll stage, I'm going to let you breathe at your own pace to go on your side and come back down again, but I'll talk probably. So right leg's on top, right hand's closest to your body, left hand is on top. Bring it down towards your pelvis. Ready to inhale. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Feel yourself lengthen. 1, 2, 3, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. 1, 2, 3, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Close your mouth and nose. Pause. Open your ribs. As you start to open your ribs, your hands come up above your head. And then we're twisting on to our left side. When you get here, make sure that you have established a nice position for your pelvis. When you need to inhale, inhale here and start your next 3 breaths. You want to make sure your shoulders are still drawing down your back and that your ear is on your arm. Your feet are dorsiflexed and that you've got each side of your pelvis stacked on top of the other. You're doing 3 nice slow breaths here. That looks really helpful there, Jill. And when you need to when you're doing your next apnea breath, you're going to come back down again. Think about starting with your eyes. So look towards the ceiling with your eyes when you start to come down. And then let your eyes start to guide your shoulders. So we started the twist at our head. And then your rib cage, and then your pelvis, and then the rest of you. Good. And when you're ready to inhale, once you've come back down, just swap, and we're going to repeat the same thing on the other side. So we'll wait for everybody. Nice long holds. So we're going to have our left leg over our right leg now. Our left hand closest to our body, our right hand on top. And we're going to draw that down towards our pelvis. 3 nice slow breaths here. Ready to inhale. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. 1, 2, 3, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. 1, 2, 3, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Close your mouth and nose. Pause. Open your ribs slowly, moving your hands up above your head. We're rolling to the right side this time. Ear is on your right arm. Think about your pelvis being nice and stacked. Feet dorsiflexed, shoulders drawing down your back. When you're ready, you're doing your 3 nice slow breaths here again. Take your time. As you breathe, try and feel what's happening to your spine. Feel what's happening to your coccyx. Can you still feel the movement when you're on your side? After your 3rd one, you're doing your apnea breath again, and you're going to start the roll again from your eyes. So looking up first, and then your shoulders, and then your rib cage, and then your pelvis. All the way back down when you're ready. Take your time with it. Excellent. And then coming back to our end point here. Good. Okay, so we are going to here now do a nice psoas stretch. So the psoas muscle is such an important muscle for our pelvic floor and for our core because it's a back muscle, then it's a pelvic floor muscle, and then it's a hip flexor. So it's got 3 different roles. And if it gets tight or if it gets, tired, then it can create tension in your lower back, tension in your pelvis, and really tight hips. So we're going to do a really nice exercise now. So we're going to start with, first of all, I'd like you just partially close your eyes and or close them. And I would like you to think of, we're going to do like a short body scan. So we're going to think about our body. We're not going to change anything in our body. You're just going to visualize and feel how your body feels right now at this moment. So either partially close or close your eyes. And I'd like you to feel about where how your spine feels, your lower back. Does it feel quite tight? Does it feel like it's quite elevated off the floor? Does it feel like it's low to the floor? How does your spine feel? Don't change anything, just feel what it feels. Notice what you notice. And then come down to your pelvis. What part of your pelvis is most heavy on the floor? Is it towards your coccyx? Is it up towards your middle, your back? Where are you weighted naturally here in this position? Are you weighted more to one side than the other in your pelvis? Then coming down to your thighs. Do you feel like your thighs are elevated, or are they on the floor? Does your left thigh feel tighter or lower or more heavy than your right side? How does it feel? And then don't move out, change anything at all. Then we're going to go down to our knees. Do you feel that your knees are elevated off the floor? Do you feel like they're heavy on the floor? And then down to your calves, the same thing. Does one side feel heavier than the other? How much of your calves are in contact with the floor? And then down to your ankles. Do you feel like they're elevated off the floor or on the floor? And your heels. Do you feel that one heel feels like it's heavier on the floor than the other? And then down to your feet, and feel how your feet and your toes feel. Do they feel tight? How do they feel? And then we're going to open our eyes, and then we're going to close them just for one more moment. And I'd like you to try and visualize your legs in your mind's eye. So you're trying to see if, thinking about your eyes or visualizing them, you can feel them clearly at the end of your body, or do they feel like they're hazy and not quite connected? And then you're going to open your eyes again, and we're going to start with the left side. So all we're going to do is we're going to open our leg at the hip until our knee wants to bend. And then we're going to bring it back to its starting position. And then we're going to open it again until our knee wants to bend. And then we're going to come back to our starting position. And we're going to open it again. And we're going to do 7 of these. So we're on number 3, and then back to our starting position. And then 5. You want to move quite slowly. And then 6. And you're always moving within your own comfort range in this. And then 7. So don't try to do what other people are doing, just do what you feel. And then this time we're going to leave it open. And then we're going to draw that foot up the inside of the other leg until where you feel comfortable. So that could be your calf, it could be your ankle, it could be your thigh. And then you're going to roll it all the way back down to the starting position. Then open it up again and draw it all the way up. And then draw it all the way back down again. That's 2. So each time you're opening first and then drawing it up, just to where you feel comfortable. 3. And again. Good. And 4. And we're doing 7. So we've got 3 more. Open again. And draw up. So this is like the warm-up for the psoas, this bit. 5. We've got 2 more. Drawing it up nice and slowly. And 6. Good. And this time we're going to leave the leg up there. Good. And then what we're going to do is we're going to have our heel on the floor and our toes off the floor. And we're going to roll along the outside of our foot till our toes are on the floor and our heels off the floor. And we're going to do that. This is the stretch bit. So heel and then toes and then back to your heel and then toes and back to your heel and then toes. So we're on 4 and then 5 and then 6 and then 7. And this time we're going to come back to our heel and we're going to roll all the way back down again to your starting position. And then I'd like you just to close your eyes or partially close your eyes and feel how that leg feels in comparison to the other leg. Okay, so now you've registered how that feels. We're going to do the other side. So again, you can open your eyes or you can keep them closed. And we're going to open the right leg towards the side until the knee starts to bend a little and then bring it back to the starting position. And then again. So this is 2. And 3. And 4. Just that nice opening through the hips. And 5. Good. And 6. And 7, and this time we're drawing that heel up the inside of our leg. And then we're drawing all the way back down again to our starting position. That's 1. Open it up each time before you start the draw up. That's 2. All the way back down again. And open it up again. That's 3. And all the way back down again. And open it up for 4. Draw up to where it's comfortable. So always work within your own comfort range. So this is about re-educating your body as well. 5. Just reminding your psoas where it should be. 6. And this time we're going to draw it up, or we're going to hold it there. And we're going to roll on the outside of our foot to our toes and back to our heels. That's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7. And then we're going to roll all the way back down to the starting position. And you're just going to close your eyes or partially close them again when you get here. And just feel how you feel. Notice what you notice. So your lower back, feel how that feels now compared with at the start of this exercise. Feel your pelvis. How does that feel? And then you're going to come down to your thighs, your knees, your calves, your ankles, and your feet. Good. Now, feeling all of this, we're now going to dorsiflex our feet, pulling back through our toes and our heels. We're going to take our hands up into our upright B position and on the floor. And we're going to do one of the exercises from the beginning, just to feel if it feels any different. Gaze straight up towards the ceiling. And now we're going to do 3 nice slow breaths, being aware of what happens in our pelvis, aware of what happens in our ribs, but not over exaggerating anything. And then our apnea breath. So ready to inhale. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Close your mouth and nose. Pause and open your ribs super slowly. Really feel them drawing away. Now your ribs are attached to the psoas, but your thoracic diaphragm attaches to your psoas. So we've just lengthened the psoas one direction. So this is giving it a little bit more length in the other direction. Hold for as long as you can. When you need to inhale, you're going to inhale here. Exhale, release your feet, give them a wiggle. Give your knees a bit of a wiggle.